Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about Huda Beauty reintroducing its discontinued rose gold eyeshadow palette, so let's get into it.
Hey everyone, I am so excited to announce something very special, very close to my heart, and that is our eyeshadow palette! This is something that I've been wanting to do for so long. My goal was really to create the most beautiful eyeshadow palette. I know there's a lot of beautiful ones out there, but this one to me was like, you know, something that was so beautiful, had so many beautiful colors, and also kind of had all your necessary colors. So all the colors that you truly need out of a palette. I was thinking if I only had one palette to take with me, and I wanted to be the most perfect one, what could I put in it? And that's seriously what I tried to do with this palette. And what we basically did was we wanted to kind of add an element of something new. What we have here are the matte shades, and we also have some pearl shades, which a lot of people have already seen before. But something that is very new is actually this textured formula. This is something that I kind of fell in love with from the first time I tried it. The one thing I have to tell you about this palette is it is talc free, so the pigmentation is insane. When I created this palette, I was literally creating it from a beauty connoisseur's perspective. If I was creating something for myself, like a dream palette, that's basically what I wanted to do, and that's what I did.
In September 2016, Huda Beauty announced the launch of its highly anticipated rose gold eyeshadow palette. Huda introduced the palette in a video on her website, which was accompanied by the following post. She wrote, "Hi my loves, I'm so thrilled to introduce you to the new Huda Beauty rose gold palette. This palette is something really close to my heart. I literally dreamt about these colors and I can't believe it's finally here. I spent so much time making sure the colors were perfect, something not only I would use as a beauty connoisseur, but ones that I really hope you would absolutely fall in love with too. It comes with 18 colors including mattes, pearlized shades, and the most exciting part, 6 pure pigmentations. These are gorgeous textured shadows with insane pigmentation. They will give your eyes this beautiful 3D pop that I'm obsessed with. I find that the best way to apply these new shadows is by using your finger, and guys, the payoff is unreal. I really wanted to make this palette truly something that has everything you need, from the blackest of the black, in brackets that can be used as a liner too, to earthy browns and my current obsession, rose gold. I created this video to introduce you to the palette more closely and show you a few different looks you can achieve with it. If you recall, the palette received mixed reviews. Some loved it and others found the quote-unquote textured shadows difficult to work with. On August 9th, 2017, Huda Beauty reposted a photo of the rose gold swatches to Instagram along with a caption indicating that, quote, "This may be your last chance to purchase it," end quote, which led people to speculate that the palette was being discontinued. I'm not sure why Huda Beauty didn't make the announcement themselves rather than reposting the update from another beauty blogger, but anyway, shortly thereafter, Huda Beauty confirmed that the palette would be shelved as of October 2017 following the launch of their Desert Dusk palette. Subsequent to Huda Beauty confirming that the rose gold palette would in fact be discontinued, as in no longer available, everyone scrambled to grab one on the basis that this would be their last opportunity to do so, which obviously led to the remaining stock completely selling out prior to its October 2017 shelving date. Fast forward to May 12th, Huda Beauty posted this swatch video along with a caption that read, "Hi my loves, some of you guessed correctly. We are launching a new eyeshadow palette. I am super excited for this launch. I can't wait for you guys to try the new formula. Save the date, May 22nd. The following day, being May 13th, Huda Beauty officially announced via Instagram that the rose gold palette would be making a comeback, this time in a remastered format. The caption of the post reads, "Everyone who knows me knows how important our original rose gold palette was to us, but when we launched it, we really had to invest everything into the palette and couldn't invest in things like packaging and innovation. That year, 2016, I actually couldn't afford to pay myself salary because this palette was such a huge project for us. Fast forward to 2018 and we wanted to reintroduce our rose gold palette with completely new and never seen before formulas, listening to everything you guys wanted. From super intense mattes to incredibly creamy pigmented foils, we are so excited to reveal to you our rose gold remastered palette." But the sob story didn't stop at Instagram. Huda took to her blog to go into more detail as to why they decided to bring back the rose gold palette, adding, "When we first started out, it was a dream of mine to bring to life what I consider to be the most essential eyeshadow palette of all time, our rose gold textured eyeshadow palette. It was just so important to us that it should be a palette for everyone. I wanted to share the colors that I loved and use daily that truly suit every mood or any look. It had some of the best basic colors for an all-day slay, and it also introduced some truly unique textures. They were so innovative you would either love them or hate them. Being such a new brand, I knew it was such a risk for us to take, but I fell in love with the way the gorgeous foiled pigments appeared when you finger swatched them, and the fact that they lasted through a full day of Bikram yoga or a night out dancing. It was a very tough time for us as a brand, and to launch the palette, I literally had to bootstrap to finance it. That meant we weren't able to spend on things like packaging so that we could invest more in the quality of the eyeshadows. So once we knew it was something people really loved, my team and I decided to start completely remastering the formulas, taking into account everything that everyone said. For instance, things like "we want a mirror," which was something we immediately put in our Desert Dusk palette, but also comments asking for a pigment that could work with a brush and more buttery mattes. So we reformulated textures and created a completely new cream shadow formula that is so intense and applies with fingers and a brush, as well as beautifully re-engineered matte shadows that are possibly the creamiest and most intense in pigmentation in the industry. Then we adapted our colors to create something that evolved with us as a brand and was more harmonious to match the new formulas. Finally, our Huda Beauty Rose Gold Remastered palette was born. So I'm confused. If you skimped on the packaging in order to put money into the shadows initially, why are we reformulating the shadows now? Why not just change the packaging and add a mirror? As for saying, quote, "once we knew it was something people really loved, my team and I decided to start completely remastering the formulas, taking into account everything that everyone said," end quote, are you saying that those who bought the original palette were guinea pigs who invested their hard-earned money into your palette when it wasn't the best it could be? Last time I checked, you didn't offer an introductory guinea pig special on the initial palettes, but consumers are expected to sympathize with your sob story because you put out a subpar palette due to financial constraints? Clearly, if the shades were as pigmented and buttery and orgasmic as you described them to be in your video announcing the initial rose gold palette, you wouldn't be reformulating them now. Obviously, Huda was aware that the palette wasn't everything it should have been, yet released it anyway, made her point, 2 months later announced it would be discontinued, and 6 months after that announced that it would be returning. I think that's a shitty thing to do. In her blog, Huda indicates this is now truly, without a doubt, my absolute ride or die palette. Well, that's what you said the first time, yet here we are. Not everyone has unlimited funds to be investing in your various versions of the same palette until you finally get it right, Huda. Now, I don't know what kind of foolery Huda is trying to pull here, but I was on her blog looking at swatches when I noticed that even the remastered shades may not be as buttery and pigmented as she's letting on. I'm gonna play the swatch video for the first row of the remastered palette in its entirety, and then I'll show you what I noticed. Okay, so if you slow things down and look at arm 3, the shade Fling has already been swiped at least once before. Here's a close-up, keep your eyes on the arrows. On arm 2, as you can see, the shade Trust Fund has already been swiped. Here's a close-up once again, keep your eyes on the arrows. On arm 3, Rose Gold has already been swiped. Here's a close-up, keep your eye on the arrow. On arm 1, Pink Diamond was previously swiped. Here's the close-up. On arm 3, Dollface has already been swiped. Here's the close-up. And on arm 1, Demure has already been swiped. Sorry guys, I know that was boring, but I wanted you to see everything for yourself. They did the exact same thing on Instagram stories. I'm gonna play Huda's IG story while talking, but keep an eye on the arrows, and no, these are not the same swatches from Huda's site. So in 6 months, are we gonna see a remastered rose gold palette? Because a lot of these shades have been pre-swatched, which again, as I said earlier, leads me to believe that these shadows once again aren't all that she's making them out to be. If you've reformulated the shadows after initially declaring the original formula to be amazingly creamy, buttery, and pigmented, yet you're still pre-swatching the remastered shades to intensify the appearance of the pigment seems a little deceptive in my opinion. I also don't understand why she wouldn't just come out with a brand new palette. Why reformulate shades of an already supposedly successful palette? That doesn't make any sense to me. Anyway, you guys, I want to know how you feel about this. I know makeup brands reformulate their products all the time, however, this is less than 2 years after the initial launch. Do you think it's unfair to the people who bought from the initial launch? Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at HereForTheT2, and I'll talk to you guys again soon in my next video. Bye!